Who Dat Nation? We got it. A spoiler win, and what a spoiler win it was, man. On the road in Tampa in Week 14, and the Buccaneers are falling apart, and we were a big part of it. So I gotta break that down. What went right, what went wrong. A lot went right, and I'll break it down. And the Saints get to keep playing spoiler this week when they play the Panthers in Week 15. And yeah, we'll see who wins the NFC South. And the Saints are a big reason why for whoever is going to win it. This is the Saints Roundtable. Stick and stay. Let's get to it. All right, so let's break it down. So the Saints went on the road in Week 14 in Tampa against the NFC South leading Buccaneers, and they came out with the win, 24-20. And the defense was outstanding, offense was good enough, and just an overall gritty team win. And yeah, the defense really showed up and gave it to the Buccaneers offense, and they really couldn't get anything going, and it was tough sledding for them all day. So Baker Mayfield had one of his worst games of his career. 14 for 30 on his completions, 122 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a 55.1 quarterback rating. So the Saints defense was all over him. Credit to Brandon Staley and the defensive coaching staff for doing their homework, and they really gave it to Baker Mayfield. They were pressuring him all day. They never let him get comfortable, and he really had a tough time getting going, because in his career, Baker Mayfield has owned the Saints, and it was only a matter of time that the Saints were going to get payback at some point. And man, did they get it this time. It was a complete beatdown on the defensive side for the Saints. And yeah, Baker Mayfield had a really bad performance. And the star rookie phenom, Emeka Egbuka, he had a bad game himself. Only 2 catches for 15 yards. The secondary did an outstanding job. Credit to Kool-Aid McKinstry and the secondary for doing their job and making it tough for him. And he did not get going this entire game. He didn't have a chance to break the defense down and make some big plays. He was shut down from the start, and he had a really tough game. So credit to the secondary for shutting him down. And Bucky Irving, if you look at the numbers, they're pretty solid. 15 carries for 55 rushing yards. 26 receiving yards on 2 catches, and a receiving touchdown, but just 81 yards total. So that's pretty good. So they kept him at bay. And overall, for the keys to the Saints winning last week, on the last video, they did everything that I said, and everything just went great, and it was beautiful to watch. And yeah, man, a lot of people were thinking that this was going to be a beatdown, and the Buccaneers were going to get an easy win and take a bigger lead over the Panthers in the division to win the division. But now, man, hey, the Saints came in, they played spoiler, and they didn't care. They wanted to crush the hearts of the Buccaneers fans in that stadium, and they did just that, man. And we'll see. It's neck and neck between them and the Carolina Panthers to see who's going to win this division. Obviously, the Saints aren't, but yeah, man, it's going to be a real interesting finish to see who wins this division. And the Saints are a big part of it, and they're going to play spoiler against another team this week, and the Carolina Panthers in this division. So we'll see if the Saints can ruin another chance for whoever wins this division. But overall, great performance on the defensive end, and just keep it going, man. Keep the confidence going. The young defensive pieces are really starting to show out and show some promise. And on the offensive end, some bright spots were there too from the young players. So we'll get to it right now. Overall, great performance by the defense. Keep it going, man. This is the backbone and the identity of this team right now, and building into the future. Yeah, hey, build around defense wins championships, and build around this defense, and that's really gonna be good for things to come. So stick and stay, and I'll get to the offense right now. This is the Saints Roundtable. to the offense now, and overall a pretty good offensive performance. I wouldn't say great, but pretty good. Rushing was very, very good in this game. Uh, they moved the football pretty well. I wouldn't say passing it was the greatest, but hey, they did enough and they got the job done. And Tyler Shuck had a pretty solid game. If you look at his numbers, they're not the greatest, but he was 13 for 20, 144 yards. But the bright spot, 55 rushing yards from a quarterback. That's Lamar Jackson-esque, like Josh Allen-esque. That's really impressive. 2 rushing touchdowns. Had one interception, and a robust 65.4 quarterback rating. But hey, he's looking like a legit dual threat, man. Hey, if he can start playing like that and he can play more like a Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts type of quarterback, the Saints might have something here because I like the way that Kellen Moore's starting to use him now. And yeah, of course, he's more susceptible to injury, but if he can stay out of harm's way, if he plays like this, the Saints have something in the quarterback, because if you look at all the quarterbacks that are the best in the league right now, what can they do? They can move, they can run, and they can get out of harm's way and scramble in the pocket. And Tyler Shuck's doing that, and he's getting those tough, gritty yards. He's looking like Taysom Hill out there, except he can throw a little better than Taysom Hill. But hey, I like the way that they're using him. And we had a bright spot as well from one of the rookies, Devin Neal. He showed up in a big way, and he's starting to really get more confidence now that unfortunately Alvin Kamara is hurt. But now that he's getting more reps in the backfield, he's really starting to take advantage of it. And he had 19 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. And he's starting to play really, really well and get more confidence. And yeah, just overall, a great performance by him and the offense. Receiving core was solid. I want to say they exploded, but they were pretty good. And yeah, they did just enough, and they rolled the back of the defense, and they scored enough points, and they gave the defense enough of a cushion to go to work, and they did an outstanding job. They were 2 for 3 in the red zone this time, so that's a great sign, because the last couple of weeks we've seen they've had issues in the red zone. But 2 for 3, you'll take that anytime, and that's great to see. So really, really bright things to see out of the Saints offense. And yeah, building on things to come, and we're seeing a lot of bright spots. And if the Saints can draft better going into this draft next year, if Tyler Shuck is the quarterback and he plays like this, we got something on our hands, guys. And we're seeing right now in this mid NFC South division, if the Saints can just make a couple of moves, they're back in the race, because the Panthers are solid, the Buccaneers are falling apart, but no one's really an elite dominant team in this division. So if the Saints can just make a couple of moves and rebuild on the fly, we're right back in this division race going into next year. So I love what I'm seeing right now. I love the bright spots going into the future, and we'll see how it goes. And I'll break down another chance to be spoiler in this week's game against the Panthers. This is Saints Roundtable. Stick and stay. All right, so let's break down this Week 15 game. Panthers versus Saints at home, back home in the Superdome. And another chance to play spoiler here after beating the Buccaneers last week, and now possibly having a chance to beat the Panthers this week and be a real deciding factor to see who wins this really interesting division in the NFC South. And yeah, the Saints are starting to play with a lot of confidence, and we'll see if they can indeed get the upset again. And this game, it's the second meeting of the year. Saints went over there to Carolina and beat them earlier in the season. A great defensive outcome in that game, and being at home and with the way they played defense last week against the Buccaneers, there's only more confidence to come. And Bryce Young has a lot of pressure on him because he has a great opportunity to to win the division. So a lot of pressure is on them. So the defensive coaching staff has to do a good job of game planning him and not letting him get confidence. And some of his weapons that gain confidence, of course, is Rico Dowdle. And Rico Dowdle is having a very, very good year this year. He had a solid game against the Saints. He had a touchdown against the Saints earlier this year. But after that, they did a pretty good job overall of shutting them down. And of course, you can't let him get out in space. He's a pretty physical runner. You have to be tough in the defensive line, and the linebackers need to get home and make sure he doesn't get confidence running in between the tackles. And if you can do that, then you can keep him at bay. And they did in that last game against them after he got that touchdown. So we'll see if they can continue that going into this game. And another guy who's really starting to get more confidence and be a bright spot is Teteroa McMillan. I have a tough time saying his name, but yeah, it's just say McMillan. Yeah, he's having a really good year, and he's really trying to break out as a rookie, and he can be a real deep threat, good receiver, a lot of speed, tall receiver. So Coley McKinstry needs to show up, and the secondary needs to show up, and maybe Brandon Staley brings in another defender underneath to help on McKinstry and make it tough for him, and we'll see what they can do to keep him out of the game. Because if he gets going and Bryce Young has time to throw it back there and get him the football, then it's going to be tough for the Saints defense to contain him. So hopefully they can get him out of the game and shut him down. Because if not, then it's going to be a tough matchup. But overall, the Saints defense is playing with a lot of confidence. And we'll see if they can indeed get a win at home and keep this train rolling and get a fourth win on the season. Because, hey, getting 3 wins is cool, but the over-under predictions-wise for the season was 4 wins. And this is a chance to indeed make that a reality and get 4 wins on the season. And hopefully keep a top 5 pick. But honestly, guys, is there really a quarterback out there right now that's really making you impress? Yes, Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman, but at the same time, it's like there's signs where there's greatness there, but then there's also signs where it's like he just might be a great college quarterback. He doesn't really look like a great NFL prospect. So really tanking for the number 1 pick, I'm not really sure about it. So let's just keep winning games. Winning feels good, guys. Even if it's 4 wins on the season, it is what it is. So getting another win against a division rival would feel pretty good. So we'll see how it goes. And do everything that I said on the defensive end, and we can indeed make that a reality. And we'll close out the show with the offensive end, which I'll break down coming up next. This is the Saints Roundtable. Stick and stay. All right, let's close out the show with the offensive end against the Panthers. And Tyler Shuck played very, very well in the last game against the Buccaneers. Passing wise, he wasn't the greatest, so hope for a better outcome there. But hey, let's keep up the dual threat thing, man. I really like seeing this dual threat kind of Tyler Shuck looking play, and we'll see now that since Kellen Moore sees that he can indeed run the football, then he can get some more RPO action in there and do some more creative stuff right there with him under center as a running quarterback. And of course, get the passing game going a little more, get Chris Olave involved more, get Juwan Johnson involved in the middle at tight end and moving the chains, get the running game going. Alvin Kamara will be off for this game, so Devin Neal needs to keep playing with confidence and step it up, as he did in that last game, and build off of that. And the Saints have a real chance to score some points here against a pretty good Panthers defense, but I don't say they're the greatest defense, but they're pretty good. And the Saints did a solid job against them in that last matchup in Carolina. So being at home, there's a better chance that they can score even more points with the way the offense is looking right now. And run the football. Offensive line needs to do their job, make some holes, get Devin Neal going, get the running game going. and keep the defensive line at bay, because the Panthers do have a pretty good defensive line. So if they can do that, and Tyler Shuck can move around the pocket, he can get some big plays in there. Hit Olave, hit a couple of guys, Mason Tipton and Jawan Johnson, those guys. Then hey, the offense can do some things, and indeed score some points and help out this defense that's really playing well right now. So hey, we'll see, and we'll see if the Saints indeed can get that fourth win and give the Saints fans something happy to see at home. So and we'll see who ends up winning this division if indeed they do beat the Panthers, because it's neck and neck right now. Both teams are pretty mid up top. So we'll see how it goes. But beating your division rival always feels great. So if the Saints can beat the Buccaneers and the Panthers the next week, that feels like a playoff victory to me. So hey, it is what it is, but I'll take it. All right, guys, this is the Saints Roundtable. We'll enjoy the game, and hopefully we can spoil another chance for our division rival. I'm Alberto Lucero. I'll see you guys next episode.